Well, thank you so much for joining and sharing your story. I'm really excited to share this with others. I've had the pleasure of witnessing your journey for a long time now, so I feel like I know a lot about you. But could you give others a little bit of a background about who you are, what you do, a little bit more about yourself?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Maria, and I live in Oakville. I'm married, and we have 3 young children, 3 young boys. They are 9, 6, and 4. And they're all very active. They're involved in a lot of activities and competitive sports. So life is very, very full. I don't like to say busy, I just say full. Right now, I'm taking some time away from my career in marketing to raise our children. I like to be active. I ski in the winter, play tennis in the summer. We like to go on bike rides and hiking. But I do not love going to the gym. I don't like working out. I wish I did. I really, really tried, but I just don't really like it. And that's one of the things that attracted me to the Metabolic Reset program.
And what was your health journey like prior to the Reset program?
It was a long one. I had tried multiple weight loss programs like Weight Watchers, Wharton Clinic, Paleo, Keto, Isogenics, Beachbody. I don't even want to add up the amount of money that I've wasted because it will make me sick. I also tried working out like 5 times a week. I hired a personal trainer, and I would lose some weight, but it would always come back, and usually more.
Okay. And what attracted you to the Reset program? Or even how did you hear about the program? That always fascinates me.
Yeah. So I heard about the program on a podcast that you did with our local naturopath, who I really trust. And I watched the videos over a few times. And what intrigued me about the program was the lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks. It was back in October. And I actually remember it was, I was buying Halloween candy. And I kept having to go to the grocery store to buy more and more Halloween candy because after the kids would go to bed, I would just eat it all. My cravings were like out of control. I felt like I hit rock bottom. And then I remember Christmas was coming up and parties, and I wasn't happy with the way I looked and felt. So when I saw the program, when I heard the podcast, I thought, I'm going to try this.
And that's what I love about it too. It's really all about finding what works for you. So one, you said you don't like going to the gym, and that's completely fine. We recommend actually not exercising because not a lot of people understand that exercise is a stress on the body. And when your cortisol or your stress hormone is already out of sync, and then you add more exercise to it, especially exercise that you don't like and you don't enjoy, then it just adds more stress on it. So it's always an interesting conversation where I say, what do you do for exercise? And people are like, oh, I go to the gym at 7:00 in the morning. I'm like, well, do you actually like doing that? And they're like, no. So let's stop doing it. It's a complete mindset shift that you don't have to exercise for weight loss. That's what I love about it. And what was your biggest motivation to get healthy?
So my deepest motivation was that I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good. I felt like I didn't look good. I felt like I wasn't myself. I felt like I was constantly wired and stressed. Like I was a mess, but I thought, oh, this is what motherhood is supposed to be like. So I just thought that was the way that things were supposed to be. I wasn't sleeping well. I was waking up groggy, like not wanting to get out of bed. My digestion was all over the place. Like I was alternating between constipation and diarrhea. I was always bloated. After my second son, I developed hypothyroidism. And then after my third son, it progressed to Hashimoto's. And then also my cholesterol numbers were not good. I felt like my body was just falling apart. I had crazy cravings. Like if I didn't eat, I would get an insane headache. And especially at night after my kids went to bed, like that was the worst time where cravings would hit. And I felt like I was just like hungry and out of control.
I feel like it wasn't that long ago because when you said the cravings, I remember just speaking to you on the phone and it was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do the intermittent fasting. Like that's not going to work for me. I go low blood sugar. I'm like, just trust in the process. I'll make sure that it works. And
I loved breakfast. I was obsessed with breakfast. I don't know. I thought in an effort to lose weight that as soon as you wake up, you got to get that protein or that protein shake. And it was very weird.
And in terms of your maintenance plan, are you going back to eating breakfast or are you sticking with the intermittent fasting?
I feel so good on the intermittent fasting. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
I added that third meal, especially if I'm having an active day, but I'm sticking with it.
And do you find that that was something that was easy to fit into your lifestyle with three active, busy boys, plus a husband?
Absolutely. Plus a husband.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like it was easy. I actually feel like I have more time. Whereas before I was trying to make these healthy breakfasts and scramble eggs. And
Mhm.
I actually feel like I have more time to focus on them because I'm not eating till noon and I don't have those crazy cravings. I replaced it with some really yummy green teas, or I have some relax and focus, and
Mhm.
it's easy.
And you got your husband on board for the program as well, which was really,
I did.
do you
So
find that the foods are like healthy enough foods that everybody can eat them?
absolutely. So after I did a round end of November, I lost 20 pounds and went into Christmas feeling great, and everyone was giving compliments. And my husband Peter got jealous, so he did a round with me in February, and just like that, he lost 35 pounds. He had to go on cholesterol medication. I said, just try the program, just try the program. His cholesterol numbers were through the roof, and he's like, okay, I'll try. I'll give you 6 weeks. And we got his blood work back, and he does not have to go on cholesterol medication. His fatty liver numbers are all down. Like, he's feeling amazing.
And
In
that's
regards to
great.
easy, like, I cook one meal and me and Peter eat it and the kids eat it. Sometimes like we'll do a lot of ground meat as in tacos, and Peter and I will have it on a lettuce wrap and the kids have it on a tortilla. Like, it's really easy everyday food.
Mhm. Do you enjoy cooking?
So I have to say, before I didn't enjoy cooking because I don't know, there was a bit of confusion in regards to what to eat. And I felt that I had to eat these healthy foods and I was making the kids like pastas and carbs. But now that I've learned more about food and what nourishes our body and what we need, like proteins and good fats and vegetables, I have found a love of cooking. I really, really loved a lot of the recipes that you provided. Um, I just loved them. Like, they were easy to follow, ingredients that I had in my pantry. So I didn't have to go to specialty grocery stores to find that special ingredient that was only good for that one recipe. It
Yeah.
was really easy everyday stuff.
And that's like, I asked that because I'm not like, I really don't like to cook. It has to be fast. My kids are like, they don't like things touching. So our meals are very like, it works out good for me because I'm like, there's my protein, there's my vegetables, things don't touch. But then if you are a foodie and you do like to cook, there are some, there's definitely more intricate, fancy recipes. And I see them post. I'm like, that looks nice. I'll stick to
That's what
my,
I loved about the Facebook page. You would post something simple like the turkey lettuce wrap with some veggies in it. But then other people would post these gourmet meals. And, sometimes I had time to do those meals that would last me 3, 4 days. But sometimes I use your post just to wrap up some turkey and eat it in the
yeah.
car. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, I just grab a cucumber and an apple in my bag of measured. But
I love it.
that's not for everybody. But if you're really busy and you don't enjoy cooking, then it's definitely something that you could easily fit in as long as you're prepared.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And in terms of moving through, so you did losing, then you went into maintenance and then another losing phase. How did you find the maintenance phase? Were you able to incorporate more foods and maintain your weight?
So I was. And the first time after I lost the 20 pounds, I went to maintenance right before Christmas. And usually Christmas would be the time where I would gain 10 pounds. And then the New Year's resolution would be to lose those 10 pounds. But I went into Christmas in maintenance and I was fine. Like, I feel like the program gave me the tools that I needed, that I was able to indulge. I did have those Christmas trifle desserts, but I knew the next day what to do just to get back on track.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's what I like about it. There's like tools and principles that you can use moving forward. And it's kind of like a give or take. Like if I'm
Hmm.
going to have that, then I know what my plan is going to be the next day to offset it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then moving into your next round of losing, did you find any differences between your first round and your second round?
Um, I found it easier. Like, I remember the first round, that first week, the first 3 days especially, I did get a few of those headaches, but you guys gave me tools. I drank water, amino acids, and things like that. So the second round, I found it a lot easier. Like, I knew what I had to do. I had my meal plan set up and I just kind of banged it out. So I found it
And
a lot easier, actually.
do you have like your go-to recipes that now what you can whip up really easy that fits the plan?
I do. Like those turkey tacos have become a staple in my house.
Yeah.
There was a slow cooker beef and carrot dish that I would
Mhm.
make really frequently. And then there's also like when I just didn't have time or I was tired, I would just do a roasted chicken, steam up some broccoli and a salad. Like, it was,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it becomes more of a lifestyle, is my hope, at least for individuals.
absolutely. Like people say, like girlfriends of mine, when I was in losing, they'd be like, "Oh, can you like eat with us now?" Because before, a lot of our social events were revolved around food, right? Like eating a lot of food. And I would still go to those social events and I still would have, but I wouldn't have the big portions.
Mhm.
And they would say, "When is your diet over?" And I would say, "I feel amazing. This isn't a diet. I'm doing this forever. Like I feel amazing on it." So
And that's the thing too with maintenance when, if a maintenance plan for someone, they want to add in the pastas. Fine, but it's not the whole plate, it's a specific portion size. So if you can, be mindful and still consume your proteins and your vegetables with that portion size, then it's
mhm,
just a new way of looking at it. It's not restrictive, it's just balanced.
absolutely. And we have a big family. I have a birthday party every few weeks and I always eat the cake. I just have a smaller piece and I omit my fruit and it's
Mm.
fine.
Yeah, the balance of it. Oh, I love that. So good. And when before we hopped on the video, I was saying that it's really interesting because when I look at your intake form when we first started together, your goal was way different than what you are now.
I
Like, would
know.
you say 20 pounds below your goal?
Yeah. I back then I thought, oh, I just need to lose those 20 pounds. I just need to lose those 20 pounds. And I lost them. And I just thought like, I feel amazing. I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like a fun little thing that my husband and I kind of did together. And
Yeah.
then I thought, why don't I get to my goal? Like my ultimate goal, which was my wedding weight of
Mhm.
45 pounds from when I started the program, and I got there. And it
Yeah.
feels good.
It's interesting. It's almost like you set a goal where you're like, yeah, that would be nice. But then once you see like the mindset shift that it is possible, it's like, oh, well, this is my actual goal. And then
Mhm.
we walk you through the losing, the maintenance, then you can go into another losing if you so choose to do that.
If I chose, yeah.
Yeah.
But it really, like, you guys used to say this. I was kind of writing down the numbers every day, and there's a bit of an obsession with the numbers. But then once I got past that 20 pounds, I realized there's so much more to the program. Like, that 5-minute journal that was included, that was gold for me. Like,
Mhm.
just setting different goals. One of the goals would be to follow the program and eat properly. But then there was a mindset goal and a movement goal, and there were
Mhm.
so many other goals that you guys kind of taught me to have and to work towards. It was so much more than just the food. Like it's
The
crazy.
non-scale victories. And it does make a big difference. I think a lot of practitioners or coaches out there online have moved towards these group plans or the do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about like having an accountability person, one
Huge.
person that's following up with you each week and being able to monitor daily. That's what I feel really makes a difference because then you can get to the mindset aspect of it. If you're struggling with food, there's an underlying thought or an emotional component that we have to look at, and it's uncomfortable sometimes, right? Like it's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's not always fun to go, into our emotions and how we feel and why are we triggered in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so
Mm-hmm.
important because that's what creates the lasting change.
Absolutely. With Allison, our weekly calls, like I would cry sometimes on these calls because I was just going so deep and I was so uncomfortable. And we dug deep into that, my why. Like,
Mhm.
why was I eating late at night? Why was I still consuming foods that I didn't know that were good for me? That why, like digging deep
Yeah.
into that, I feel is what really shifted for me and
Mhm.
shifted from other weight loss programs that I wouldn't stick to. Knowing my why just helped me, kept me motivated.
Yeah. And it's almost like sometimes, especially at night, like I used to do this all the time. It was like a distraction technique. Or
Yes.
like I had this obsession where I always had to be go, go, go. And I
Mm-hmm.
had related that to staying up. So I was just like using food to keep me awake because then I'd be more productive. But really, you're not productive
No.
at that point in time. Like sleep is so important. And we look at that. Like if you're not sleeping, if you're not pooping, right? Like I work on poop a lot and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's a part of life. I'm
Yeah.
constantly tracking poop, my own, my 3 boys.
Yeah. I'm like, are you pooping each day? And if not, try to figure out why to the best of our abilities, right? Because it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. What's the poop like?
Yeah. Do you drink enough water? How's your
Yeah,
fiber? And
exactly.
it can even be, I'm always so fascinated. It can be like a healthy food for some
Hmm.
individuals. And just by monitoring it each day, and then
Hmm.
if we can pick up on that trend, it's like every time you eat this, then we see a stall or we see a change in your bowel movements. If we can just say, okay, don't eat that food anymore,
Hmm.
and it clears it up, then that's amazing to be able to pick it up.
Absolutely. That was huge for me. Before, I was like permanently bloated. So I couldn't see the differences if I ate a bad food. But now I feel like it was kind of like a reset. And sometimes, like, actually, cauliflower sometimes bugged me. So I kept it out for a few days. And then,
Mhm.
like, 2 weeks later, I had some and I was fine.
Yeah,
Like, but I was able to see the differences,
the
um,
fluctuations.
the fluctuations. Yeah, that was really a big learning for me.
Yeah. And I, especially for people who are like really health conscious and want to be healthy, sometimes we overdo those gas forming foods. Like
Hmm.
to a degree, it's normal not to be able to eat 2 heads of cauliflower and not be gassy, right? So we have to look at it like, yes, it's a healthy food, but you still need that balance overall. If you eat, 2 heads of cauliflower, okay, you're
Yeah,
probably going to be gassy and bloated. We need to scale that back a bit, even though it is healthy.
absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, a couple more questions here. What would you say to someone who's on the fence about taking their
Mm,
health to the next level, especially at this time where it's a little bit more chaotic or more hectic?
yeah. I would just say there's nothing, like absolutely nothing more important than your health. Like, and the health of your family. And just, I thought this was so much more. I thought this was just a weight loss program, but it was so much more. Almost every aspect of my life has kind of changed. Like, I was telling Peter, my husband, I'm like, I feel like I'm a happier person. And he's like, you are. That's made me a happier wife, a happier mom, like a better wife and daughter and friend. Like, I feel like my relationships are better. Just all in all, I feel like better. I didn't realize how much time I was spending before on like this obsession with food and
Mhm.
fitting in the workouts. That was a big excuse of mine. I don't have time to do a new program. I don't have time. But I really feel the program has actually given me freedom. It's given me time.
Mhm.
And I just feel like right now, like you said, with COVID, the past few weeks, everyone's gained that COVID 20 or that COVID 15.
Mhm.
And and I haven't. And I really feel the program is actually like my best defense against this virus and against diseases, just being as healthy as you can be.
Oh, I love that. And last question, what are your words of wisdom to other individuals who are on the metabolic reset program that might need a little fire on their butt or a little bit of motivation right now?
Okay. Um, if you're not part of the program, I would say just do it. Like 100%, do it, do it, do it. Call me if any questions. The Facebook group's supportive. I actually got my mom signed up. She's starting this weekend. I'm super excited about that. But in regards to staying motivated, um, I look back on my 5 minute journal and it's shocking because sometimes the numbers didn't move as fast as I wanted them to day. But when I look back week over week or month over month,
Mhm.
or if I look back at my original goal, like I'm shocked. Like it's
Yeah.
absolutely shocking, like taking a big picture look.
I
And
love
just,
your looking at the chart because it's like, oh, that's when she started loading. That's where she started the next loading. And you can see it. And like you said, like the overall trend is way down,
mhm.
but you're
But
going to
there's
be
ups and
tested.
downs.
You're going to be tested for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
absolutely. And just in regards to the staying motivated, I just found the weekly coaching calls were like, they made all the difference. We dug deep. And I just dug deep and asked myself, how do I want to feel? Like Allison would say, like eating that food, how did it make you feel? If it made you feel good, continue. If it made you feel bad, like don't continue. At the end of the day, how do you want to feel? And eating like this makes me feel amazing. So that keeps me motivated.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. And it's like, we don't innately want to harm our bodies, but sometimes when we eat those foods that are harming us, those like natural endorphins make us crave it more. So it's almost like you crave
Mm,
what is actually,
bad for you.
yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Chocolate cravings. Absolutely.
break that habit. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining
Thank
today,
you. Thank
sharing
you.
your journey. I'm so excited for you. And when this is over, we need to do a group, a group meetup.
Yes. I feel like the Facebook group people we've spoken for Like, I feel like they're all my friends and I've never met them, but
Yeah.
they've been so supportive, and we talk and we private message and we support each other. I would love that. You have to have like a
I would love that too.
MRP.
The hardest part though is like the display pictures are often old and they don't look like post MRP. So I'm like, who is that? Can you tell me your health history a little bit so I can know who you are?
That's true. That's very, very true.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much. I know it's getting
Thank
late, so
you.
kids to bed. Hopefully that got my relax and focus for that event.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you.
We'll
All
talk
the
soon.
best.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Bye.